What is up, everyone? It is Scott Beaty here with Beaty's Beat. It's been a while since I've seen all of you, but this is a top clash between Newcastle and Liverpool just kicking off here. Um, and I'm happy to be back. Happy to be back online. Hope everyone is well, and this should be a cracker of a match. We've got Soboslai down the right-hand side. Forgive me for not jumping on as soon as early as I normally do, but let's just run through the lineups real quick. You've got Allison in goal, the back four. Used to be a normal back four, but Ibu Konate is locked down his place. He's out with a slight injury. So Matip comes in. You've got Endo, Soboslai, and McAllister in midfield. All new signings this offseason, as well as a front three of Diaz, Gakpo, and Mo. So let's get rid of those guys. And forgive me, bear with me a little bit, shaking the rust off. It's been, as I said, a while since I've seen all of you. But please get your chats in, and I'll be happy to respond to them. We've got Joshua Hughes saying, "Let's go." Thanks, Josh, jumping in the chat, friend of the channel. I'm gonna have to maybe check on settings here for a second because it seems like we're a bit laggy. So give me 1 second. I will be back shortly. In the chat, friend of the channel, and this should be a cracker of a match. The back four used to be a normal back four, but Ibu Konate. So Matip comes in, as well as a front three of Diaz, Gakpo, and Mo. So let's get rid of those guys, and forgive me, bear with me a little bit, shaking the rust off. It's been, as I said, a while since I've seen all of you, but please get your chats in, and I'll be happy to respond to them. We've got Joshua Hughes saying, "Let's go." Thanks, Josh, jumping in the chat, friend of the channel. I'm gonna have to maybe check on settings here for a second because it seems like we're a bit laggy. So give me 1 second. I will be back shortly. All right, I am back. I think we're still just going to have to maybe live with the lagginess, as well as I said, shaking the rust off. I think all of you just heard me listening to the playback, so a bit awkward, but nonetheless. So, yeah, let me just talk my way through Liverpool's off-season. Quite a lot has changed. I know a lot of Liverpool fans are probably pretty. We're still just gonna have to maybe live with the lagginess, as well as. Sorry, still playback. Anyway, yeah, so much has changed for Liverpool this offseason. I'm sure a lot of Liverpool fans are quite nervous out there as to what direction we're headed in. You also have this dark cloud of Saudi Arabia really going after Mo Salah. That news has popped up in the last 48 hours. Of course, they've always wanted him. He's a huge Arab star, and they would do anything to acquire his talents. And I think we're about to see the limits of just that in a quite literal sense. They'll do anything to get him. But anyway, I'll leave that to one side for the time being, as I fully expect Mo to want to stay in the Premier League and see out the season with Liverpool, as we are in a huge rebuild. But anyway, Liverpool basically lost a huge chunk of their midfield. Their leadership group, Hendo and Milner both leaving in the same season. Fabinho leaving pretty unexpectedly as Alexander-Arnold gets pushed over on the sideline there. Yellow card. Going to be going to, I believe, the Newcastle. Oh, no, to Alexander-Arnold. Evidently, the foul wasn't given, and he's going to be... Here's a barge in the back. I don't know how that's not a foul by Anthony Gordon. Again, the standard of refereeing is quite suspect these days. But it is what it is. And he gets a yellow card for dissent. But Anthony Gordon with a shove in the back towards the sideline here. Liverpool, strong start here. Mo Salah down the right-hand side. He's got past Dan Burn, but did allow him to catch back up to speed. Here's Alexander-Arnold with a shoulder barge on Anthony Gordon. The two of them come together, and of course St. James Park is going to be fired up about that one with Alexander-Arnold. Yeah, so of course Kieran Trippier asking perhaps is that second yellow going to come 6 minutes into the match for his England teammate. And he gets a talking to, but yeah, just to pick back up where I left off with Liverpool and the rebuild. So yeah, I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold obviously had a great couple cameos towards the tail end of last season. It really was amazing to see Trent, a player who struggled so much all throughout last season. Even the staunchest of Liverpool fans and the rosiest of Liverpool fans, such as myself, were really having to bite the bullet and face reality in terms of how poor of a season he was having at right back. But he really has had a new lease on life, being able... so many are seeing him as... or phrasing it as him taking a position in midfield, but it is just that. His position, at least to date, has not really been him lining up in center midfield, but rather him kind of taking the dual role of right back and midfield, taking up really playing out as an inverted wing back, as tactics just reiterate again and evolve in the Premier League. It is so interesting. I mean, really, when you look at any given team's tactics, you kind of basically start with the outside backs. Nowadays, is what role do they take up? Is it a traditional fullback? Is it a wing back? Is it an inverted back? Which seems to be the trendy choice, is the inverted wing back. Obviously, it takes quite a talented and player with versatile talents, but I think you have to start with determining your outside back's role, because if you decide to go the route of an inverted back, then it just creates such an asymmetrical choice, and then the tactics for the team elsewhere kind of have to counterbalance that decision. So corner kick. Sorry, I'm going to have to try and balance the difficult task of in-game commentary as well as my general thoughts on Premier League tactics and the off-season. There's a free kick to Newcastle from about the right back position. Joe Gomez is warming up on the sideline. Seems a bit early, 9 minutes in, but Liverpool is something to think about. Trent is not necessarily holding back on his fieriness to the start of this match, but if he's not careful, he may end up making some decisions that will come back to haunt Liverpool later in this game. But I would say, again, only 9 minutes in, but Liverpool have made the stronger start. Liverpool have gotten the ball at their feet with Salah running at the Newcastle defense. Good high press action here on the left-hand side between McAllister and Diaz, not letting Trippier just, bring the ball up the pitch. Newcastle really haven't had the ball in Liverpool's territory as of yet. Some midfield battleground action happening here. Here's Szoboszlai, who really, I was excited for him when we signed him. He kind of came out of the blue a bit, coming from Leipzig, £60 million transfer. There wasn't a whole lot of rumorville before that transfer ended up becoming official. But I was excited when we signed him. I'm even more excited the more I've seen him. I mean, he was coming in what I thought as a... Actually, I'm going to interrupt myself 1 second. Still having some buffering issues, so I'm going to see what I can do to troubleshoot. Apologies, but please stick with me. I will be back. Thank you.